If your favorite romances are dark, addictive, and just a little bit dangerous, let me recommend The Dare by New York Times bestselling author Harley LaRue.
This viral novella serves as the perfect introduction to Harley's bestselling Losers universe. Jessica was the untouchable prom queen. Manson was the outcast she made sure everyone feared. Years later, one Halloween party, one game of Drink or Dare, and one impossible challenge forced them into a night that changes everything they thought they knew about each other.
If you love bully romances, enemies to lover tension, morally complicated characters, queer representation, and stories that aren't afraid to explore the darker side of desire and devotion, this one's for you.
This gorgeous new edition also includes a full gold foil cover and an exclusive bonus novella, Ghosted, available in print for the very first time. Fun fact, The Dare became infamous after Amazon temporarily banned it for being too sexy, helping cement Harley LaRue as one of dark romance's most talked about voices.
The Dare by Harley LaRue, available now wherever books are sold.
People keep asking what's the next book they need to read, and the answer is very simple. It's Storm of Secrets and Sorrow by Melissa K. Rorick.
In a world created for the descendants of gods, where the Fae are born to serve, a woman bound to the air of death fights fate and desire. Storm of Secrets and Sorrow is book 2 of the best-selling book talk sensation, a contemporary dark romantasy legacy series for fans of Sarah J. Maas, Kaylee Smith, and Rebecca Yarros.
The second I knew that this book had me was when I realized it had gods, dragons, shifters, vampires, and witches. It has it all for you.
It even has my favorite tropes like morally gray characters, meddling gods, forced proximity, touch her or him and die, one bed, one horse, he falls first, enemies with benefits, like you can't go wrong.
And everyone knows that it is fantastic because the first book was independently published back in 2023, and the series was a #1 Amazon bestseller with nearly 40,000 Goodread reviews and 16,000 Amazon reviews as of 2025. So you know it's grown even more.
And when it was published traditionally, it was an instant New York Times bestseller.
Make sure you get your copy today of Storms of Secrets and Sorrow. It has an incredible deluxe special edition with stenciled edges, a beautiful foil-stamped hardcover, exclusive design with illustrated end papers, and full-color character art.
You can find Storm of Secrets and Sorrow by Melissa K. Rorick wherever books are sold in print and in ebook.
I recently discovered 11 Reader because a fun fact about me that a lot of people don't know is that I have a reading disability. I have always struggled with reading and concentration, and when it comes to things like PDFs or things that I really need to focus on, 11 Reader has really come in handy.
The fact that I can upload my own content, I have so many business memos I have to read every day.
And then it reads it to you, and you get to choose the voice that reads it to you. You get to have a British accent reading those documents to you.
And I just retain so much more.
I really love the voices. Having a British accent whisper sweet nothings about legal documents to me keeps me going.
Start free with 10 hours of your own content per month. And that's essentially a 400-page book turned into audio for free.
Upgrade to Ultra for $11 a month and unlock unlimited uploads plus 20 hours of premium audiobooks every month. No credits, no commitments. It's really the ultimate listening app when you can't get enough. Being able to retain information is really hard for me when I'm reading certain difficult documents. And I really can't emphasize enough to you guys how much 11 Reader has helped me review so many things for the podcast.
Whether you're writing your own book, you have a lot of documents to go through, or you want to listen to audiobooks, choose 11 Reader and use promo code podcast to get your first 2 months for only $1.
Hey there, we're Book Talk for Book Talk with Jack and Amy, your book besties who take the novels you love seriously. This is Jack.
And I'm Amy, and together we mix smart analysis with fandom fun. So let's get into it.
This is our Breadcrumbs and Broomsticks episode where we read your thoughts and interpretations, as well as discuss breadcrumbs from the prologue through Chapter 4 of Sarah J. Maas's House of Flame and Shadow.
Before we dive in, don't forget Spilt. Spoilers, perspective and interpretation, language, and themes. And what that means, if this is only your second episode ever with us because you listened to yesterday's episode, there are so many spoilers. So many spoilers for all of Crescent City. So many spoilers for everything SJM.
You've been warned. Mm-hmm. If you would like more information, please go back and listen to the start of yesterday's episode. And if you want to submit your thoughts from our Breadcrumbs and Broomsticks episode in the future, make sure to follow us on Instagram where we collect listener submissions. Great news. I have more energy today and a bit more life.
Yay.
Mom got accepted to physical rehab, so everyone clap.
Yay.
I need a new transmission in my car.
You know what? Life gives you lemons and strawberries. Good things and bad things.
I love a strawberry lemon cake. It sounds delicious.
Yeah. Ew. No, I don't like lemon desserts unless it's a lemon bar.
It sounded good for me. The great news, we're better vibes today for me. Because people listened to this yesterday and it's been a couple days since we've recorded. So
yeah, that's true. It's true.
All right. Shall we start?
Starting with Breadcrumbs, we are in the prologue. While kneeling in front of the Asteri, Lidia thinks, quote, as this world would kneel until the 6 enthroned Asteri drained it dry and left its carcass to rot in the emptiness of space. So ironic that the Asteri are the ones with carcasses that will rot in the emptiness of space.
Yeah. I will say I like the fact that this is the most recent book we've had in the SJM universe. And we have nothing to tease out for future books. So it's just true foreshadowing within this book, which I miss it. That's easier for us to do.
Yeah. Instead of being maybe.
I know.
Okay.
Which we still do that, but.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. So Morven, which is such a funny, nerd name. I feel like you can shove Morven into the locker. But he's the king of the Avalon Fae. He's Cormac's father, and he is wearing a scaled armor when he visits the Asteri. Scaled armor is very similar to what Rhys and the Illyrians wear because they originate from Prythian and keep the traditions of their ancestors. Good job, Amy.
Thank you.
Amy did a lot of the heavy lifting here.
That I did. That's okay. And I even left some out because I was just no, too many.
Well, I feel like I actually tried. And
You
now
did.
I'm oh, shit. Yeah.
Lydia also thinks about Morven's Avalon home, surrounded by the mist that the Asteri cannot pierce through. Quote, if they were somehow repelled by whatever ancient power lay around Avalon, that would be a secret worth abasing oneself to keep. AKA, it's a clue that there's a piece of Thea's star hidden in Avalon, and that's why the mists are there, because it's keeping it all secret and hidden.
In the dungeon, when Lydia and Pollux enter, Hunt says, quote, morning sunshine. A soft broken rasp of a laugh sounded to Athalar's right. And though she knew it was folly, Lydia looked. Ruhn Danaan, crown prince of the Valvaran Fae, was staring at her. It's because her identity is daylight, and Hunt called her sunshine. It's funny.
It is funny. It is also intentional.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Chapter 1. In the dungeon under the Moon Palace / Ruhn City, Bryce describes her surroundings as, quote, Blackstone, subterranean palace, even more subterranean interrogation cell. Sounds a lot like the area under the prison and under the clock tower in Throne of Glass, which makes me wonder, was the Ruhn City perhaps made by the Asteri? It is in a mountain, and it may have once been a site of one of their caches of power before they were overthrown.
Yep. Bryce describes Rhys, quote, authority rippled off him, as if he was the entire axis of this place, a king of some sort then. Please don't let this be foreshadowing for Rhys becoming High King. I don't know why I'm so against that, but I just don't want it.
Yeah, give somebody else the limelight.
No, I don't want any High King.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone. Just keep it as is, which is clearly working.
Maybe monarchy is not the answer.
Call me crazy, but honestly, elections aren't working either. All right, I'm back to being sad.
Bryce observed Asriel's shadows. Quote, Asriel, without Rhysand to translate, watched in silence. Bryce could have sworn shadows wreathed him like runes, yet wilder. The way Cormac's had been. Does this foreshadow us learning more about Asriel's lineage in a future ACOTAR book that ties him to Avalon, or his ancestors, to those who are in Avalon?
I feel like I just forgot how to do breadcrumbs because you're going through all these. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I should have highlighted that one. It means we've only read one of mine so far. So I'll be back next episode with more contributions. In chapter 2, Mark tells Sigrid she had no rights because of her history. Quote, since you technically don't even exist, you're a ghost for all intents and purposes. Foreshadowing that she'll be a reaper. And that's what we call irony.
This irony is repeated when Sigrid asks Ethan how he handles living in a mortal flesh and blood body that is not floating in water, because she's a former mystic. Quote, feeling like you're stranded in a rotting corpse is how she describes her body. Just more foreshadowing.
It's like, sorry that you liked being pickled more. But that's not how the world
Your wish
works.
is my command.
I love pickled things, but I don't think that's how you want to live. In chapter 3, in Amy's mind, this is mine.
No, this is yours.
Wow. That worked out well. We just rotate depending on whoever wrote it. Okay, so in my mind, this is a breadcrumb. Bryce thinks, quote, Fae were horrible. The ones here weren't much different from the ones she knew, as far as she could tell. I feel like this might be set up for ACOTAR 6, where they're going to have to face their own morality and the questions of why is it that Nesta was the only one to try to help.
I think that's a great point. Again, in chapter 3, as Bryce sits in the dungeon alone, she does a lot of thinking. And here are some of her thoughts. Quote, maybe it was some kind of fucked up test to see if she could get through their strongest powers and wards. From Apollyon's hints, Hunt's power was far more compatible with Bryce's than most. And did she need a gate to get home? When she'd landed here, there had been no gate-like structure nearby. This is just Bryce ruminating on a lot of things, which is SJM's way of foreshadowing everything to come.
In chapter 4, while in the Asteri dungeons, Hunt looks at the shadows behind the hammer and the hawk. Quote, the shadow was different, darker, older, watching Hunt, hinting that Apollyon eventually visits. Wonder if we're supposed to think it's Cormac at first. Oh, that would have been sad. Okay. Here are my thoughts. We've already established that the Prythian Fae are so much stronger. Like, they are insanely strong. And we already established that when Bryce and everyone over at Midgard, they have to take that little special shot in order to make themselves more powerful. They tap into their full power. And Bryce never takes it. And so she's still limited as to her full potential. And yet they managed to beat the Asteri. How fast would this war have happened if Rhys and everyone had actually tried to help?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the whole point. And probably the reason why SJM never has them help is because it would be too easy for them.
It just bums me out. You know, like, it feels like one of those things like Star Wars happens and then it's like, and then they voted correctly in episode 1, or, you know, and it all came down to taxes and they weren't greedy. And then all of Star Wars ends and stuff, right? I mean, and then it also kind of makes me question about like how Thea and them, not that it wouldn't have been a war, but I feel like clearly the Asteri have maybe been a little bit more drained or not as powerful as when Thea was around, because they've been suffering on, like, not suffering, but eating this half-light or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Every once in a while, like, I'll think about it and it just bums me out of like, they could have helped. They could have helped and it could have been so much easier, and, you know, shame on them. I just really hope ACOTAR 6 has a shame on them.
Yeah.
A quick winnow away and we'll return. I am trying to hit 10,000 steps a day and look cute and not have my back absolutely destroy me. And honestly, there's only one solution to this.
And that solution is Vionic shoes. I wear them every day to work so that I can walk on my walk pad looking professional, but the shoes also not look frumpy.
I mean, at this point, which Vionics do we not have? I am obsessed with my Walk Slim slide sneakers. I can walk forever in them. And then if I'm like, you know what? I'm not vibing a sneaker. Boom. I can hop over to my Amelita Mary Jane flats, and suddenly I'm like this timeless cool girl fashion icon.
I get so many compliments on my City Walk sneakers from all age groups. And genuinely, they are so cute and they're made with real suede.
The reason why we are so obsessed with our Vionics is because of Vionics' exclusive biomotion technology, and that's really what sets them apart. They began by revolutionizing medical orthotics. Today, they continue to use that science to engineer shoes that leave you feeling energized and confident all day.
They even offer a 30-day guarantee. Wear them, love them, or return them for a full refund within 30 days. I guarantee you'll know instantly that these are the shoes for you.
Use code BOOKTALK, that's BOOKTALK, BOOKTALK, at checkout for 15% off your entire order at VionicShoes.com when you log into your account. It's a one-time use only.
Vionic shoes, wearable well-being for your feet. I think that at the end of the day, with all of these stories, kind of to a point you made in yesterday's episode, it comes down to human nature and what we do as humans who have agency. And quite frankly, the stories we read are fantastical because there are people who choose the greater good over themselves. But the truth of the matter is most people throughout life keep their interests at heart, or the interests of their family or those that they love, right? I don't know anyone who would sacrifice everything for the greater good, especially people they don't know. Granted, they haven't been challenged by parasites from another planet, so who knows?
I mean, I feel like I'm willing to risk your life for the greater good. No.
I mean,
it's easier said than done, right? Like,
right. And, I think at the end of the day, what the inner circle does by not helping Bryce is human nature.
Yeah.
Right? We don't know. That is an unknown. I have no responsibility for your safety, your planet's safety, your family safety.
Own world safe. Yeah.
Right. And I think that's just true to what most people would choose, myself included.
I mean, we'd all like to imagine that we'd be better. I know it's like easier for me to risk myself, but I don't know if it's like something I'm willing to risk others for, which is what it comes down to, right? Because Rhys isn't just risking Farah and Nyx's life. Rhys is risking all of Prythian. They've just gone through a war, they just narrowly missed another war. I think it's easy to judge them, but I think that it was also easy as readers from the ACOTAR world to kind of like hype them up as this morally good. They're incredible. Someone was like making a case online that they were trying to say that like Rhys would be MAGA, and I disagree with that. But I think it comes down to this idea of what are our morals, and are we as likely as what we think we are going to rise above our own interests and do what's right. And I like what you said, that that's what makes us fantastical, is that these are people who rise above what the average person would do. And I think that in that moment, the reader, we think that we'd be just as good as them.
Yeah, I know my limitations and my morals only extend to a certain radius. And then when it comes to the greater good, all bets are off. Like, I'm a cynic when it comes to humans.
Yeah.
So I think it's also important to note that even though Farah and Nyx lived, in theory, Rhys and Farah still are tied by their death bargain.
Yep.
So even if Rhys was willing to help the Asteri, if harm came to him, he's risking both himself and Farah leaving behind Nyx. And they also know they still have Koschei to deal with. They still have human queens. Like, there's still a lot that is tenuous within Prythian and their world. Is that a risk worth taking when it isn't all sunshine and rainbows there?
Yeah, I think Throne of Glass and Crescent City really deal with this morality question more than ACOTAR world did. And I love a good morality question. I struggle with like the concept of morality all the time, of like, are we doing enough? And I want to be like, make me as rich as possible so I can help as many people. Like, I definitely love the idea of like wanting to help, but I'm realizing ACOTAR, I feel like, doesn't have as intense of morality questions. So when we have something like this, dealing with these characters that we're not used to seeing these types of moments, because we've only ever seen them rise above, right? Except for in Silver Flames, but that's still a little debatable there. I think that's part of the icky feeling that people might have.
Yeah.
When it comes to like, no, inner circle. Okay, so we asked our listeners, and that's you guys. Good job. We asked you guys, defend Bryce, complain about Bryce. What do you love about Bryce? What do you not love about Bryce? Because we needed something easy, guys. I'm sorry. And she's our main character, right? At the end of the day, no matter how many POVs we have, this is Bryce's book. So one of the top things I've read is that she is clever. No one intimidates her intellectually.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to take a sip first.
Right. We should do that. Everyone, you guys do that too at home. If you're new, we take sips and we keep you hydrated.
Curvy girl rep, relatable, makes mistakes, speaks her mind.
Yep. Steve, her audacity, #Dyson.
Love it.
I think I really like the audacity. I was talking about this. Now we're just reflecting because this is going to be a short episode. So, aloud. I was talking about this with my aunt because my grandparents moved to this country with their kids when my mom was really little, but they moved from Chile, and my aunt was talking about how this is so not relevant, and I apologize, but my aunt was talking about how they inspired everyone to go to college to better themselves because you looked at them and you said, I need to do better than them. And I was like, I actually don't think I related to that. I was like, no, I didn't look at them and say, I need to do better because you came to this country and I need to honor you. I was like, what I got from them was their audacity of they came to this country without knowing anyone. My grandma barely spoke English, like she had to teach herself English out here. And I just think that their audacity is something that I took. Was like, you know what? Why the fuck not? Like, I'll do it. Like, why not? And I think that that's one of my favorite things about Bryce. And I think we should have more female representation of audacity because men have it.
Yeah. Even if they don't call it that, because audacity is typically a feminine trait in heteronormative society. One other thing that I love about her personally, and that several of our listeners say, she's a girl boss. She's a badass, but especially she is unabashedly sexy, unabashedly feminine. She knows it and she wears it like a badge. I think I talked about this a lot in our first Crescent City season, but she was inspirational to me and helped me come out for the second time in my life in my 30s. Because I finally was just like, why am I hiding my body? Why am I ashamed of my body? I shouldn't be ashamed of my body. I want to be Bryce Quinlan. So I started buying clothes that I was like, Bryce Quinlan would wear that.
Yeah. What do you feel like it's like? I mean, it's kind of weirdly serendipitous where we're coming back into the Crescent City world with Bryce while you're going through your, what would you call it? I don't know, your renaissance, your queer renaissance?
Queer renaissance. I think that she will always be like a talisman of my queerness, if that makes sense, even though she herself is not queer. So it feels like cosmically aligned.
Yeah, it does. I hope coming back to this and reading this years later, and you're now in a different place in your queer journey and in your deconstruction of super intense religious deconstruction trauma journey, that she brings another layer to you.
I don't doubt she will. She definitely will.
Other people say that they love a sassy queen. Now, before I want to go back to her positives, but let's, I want to end on a good note. So do you want to hop over to negatives?
Wait, there's a few more.
I know. I want to come back to them. I want to end on a good note.
Got it. I was like, Jack, we're cutting people short.
No, okay. I want to compliment Sandwich.
Yeah. Okay. This one's from TJ. If Bryce says alpha hole one more time, I'm actually going to lose it.
Yeah, I feel the same way about Ethan and his sunball. He was a sunball. Luckily, I'm more annoyed at Ethan's sunball than Bryce's alpha hole, but I'm still like alpha hole. I'm like, babe, something else.
So I understand, but I disagree for a couple different reasons.
Wait, about alpha hole or about sunball player?
Alpha hole.
Okay, cool. I was like,
sunball, I don't disagree. Alpha hole, I disagree with for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's culturally relevant, the same way that they say their swear words are culturally relevant to their gods, right? It's relevant to their system, etc. B, she says it as frequently as I would call a man an asshole. And I don't know that we would be disdainful if alpha hole was replaced with asshole.
Who knows? I like that it's an insult towards men, specifically. Because it's so hard to insult people without using insults about women. I love calling men little bitches, but at the same time, it's like bitches are female dogs, right? And it's like, it's women. So, I love finding insults that have nothing to do with degrading women or women body parts.
Right. And it's not like bastard, an illegitimate child. I feel like alpha hole is the safest gendered insult for men that you can possibly have. And so I do not poo-poo it. But that's just me.
I mean, I love TikTok because I find new ways to insult men. One is you have a personality of bedside stale water.
Okay.
You know exactly what they're talking about, right? Okay.
Yeah, I do.
And then another one is you're talking real loud for someone who has bangs, because most of men's haircuts are just glorified bangs. And I love bangs. Like, this isn't an insult to bangs because I want it, but I love the idea of just telling men, like,
you should call it a fringe.
Yeah.
Because a fringe even sounds more feminine.
Mm-hmm. Another one is like, just tell them you like their blouse.
Too
or
funny.
just be like, you're being really emotional right now to men.
Yeah, I would love to say something about maybe you'd be less uptight if you wore a skirt or something because they wear trousers, and I don't know. I want to be like, maybe your dick needs more freedom and maybe you'll feel better.
No, I've maybe, I don't know. I don't want to give their dick any kind of they need room because it's big, keep their dick small.
Yeah, that's fair.
One of my go-tos is you limp dick motherfucker.
You said that recently, and I can't remember why.
I do pop out limp dick pretty often in general. I haven't said it to a guy in a long time, but calling a guy limp dick is pretty nice. Another one is like, you look like a man who doesn't believe in female orgasms. And that guy might feel like, yeah, I don't. But then it's like,
Yeah, prove my point.
Well, then
thanks.
I don't care about your opinion.
Even if Valkyrie needs a pause, we'll be right back.
There will be absolutely no gatekeeping here. We need to tell you about Rebel, the one place where you can get some incredible brand names for up to 70% off.
The thing about Rebel is you don't have to choose between the brand you want versus the price you want. You get both. It isn't a knockoff. It's a real product just priced the way it actually should be.
Rebel offers so many incredible products that I have spent the last, I'd say, 20 minutes just scrolling, knowing that I can shop from brands like Ninja, KitchenAid, and even Drybar. My hair is going to look good.
The most important thing is it's not a static sale. There are new finds dropping constantly. And once the inventory's out, it's out.
You got to get on it, people.
Your next favorite find is waiting at FromRebel.com. That's FromRebel.com.
Top brands in home, baby, and outdoor. Up to 70% off. Go check it out before it's gone.
It's basically August, which means it's basically fall. And I am basically thinking about my entire autumn wardrobe.
But it's not going to be a basic wardrobe.
No. It's going to have absolute amazing classic staples from Quince that's going to have ultra soft organic cotton, premium cashmere sweaters. It's a whole vision I have for myself.
The best thing about Quince is you can get those timeless staples at 50 to 80% less than similar brands.
Quince also has, get ready for this, premium stretch denim starting at just $50. I mean, I'm telling you guys, it's the perfect fit. It has structure to it, and it also has exactly what you would expect from a luxury designer brand, but it's only $50.
And they're so affordable because they work directly with ethical factories and cut out middlemen. So basically, you're paying for quality, not brand markup.
And it's not just apparel. Quince also brings that same everyday elevation to everything they offer, from hotel quality bedding and bath to kitchen staples and thoughtfully designed furniture.
Upgrade your everyday. Download the Quince app for app-exclusive offers or go to quince.com/booktalk.
Get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada and the UK too.
That's QUINCE.com/booktalk. BOOKTALK.
Okay, I have a couple here. Curd Damore says, by book 3, she's as secretive as Aelin without having a reason to distrust Hunt or Ruhn with information. I agree. I get that Hunt isn't always gung-ho about plans, but I mean, it's the same issues I have with Aelin, but I feel like Aelin is at least used to being a mastermind assassin.
Yeah. Whereas Bryce requires help to be successful. Just like her magic and her power.
Yeah, so her being secretive is a bit annoying. I think it's one of those ta-da factors, but at what cost?
Yeah. Chloe said something similar. Aelin 2.0, tell people your plans and strategize. Chloe also said false infallibility, which is not unique to Bryce in the SJM universe, as well as the overuse of, quote, schooling her face into neutrality. Yeah, that one is overused.
Amy, says it's AWM. She's stereotypical. Farah is the only SJM FMC who is tender-hearted and kind to others. That's an interesting...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, like, I can understand someone might be like, no, like, Aylin's nice and Bryce are nice, and they do think of others, but I don't know if their heart hurts for others the way that Farah's might.
Yeah, I see what they're saying. I think that what's difficult about Bryce is, yes, she is kind to certain people, but Farah is kind to everybody. And Bryce's upbringing doesn't allow her that because she's on the defensive all the time.
Yeah, I think Farah is the only one, and I say this loosely because I'm going to say she wears her heart on her sleeve, and people will be like, she is not wearing her heart on her sleeve. When you compare it to Aylin and Bryce, who had to be like, Aylin literally had to hide everything about her life, right? And then compare it to Bryce, who's like had to survive everything everywhere. Compared to them, I think that Farah does wear her heart on her sleeve when she's opened up a bit more.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Eve says her willful ignorance.
Yeah, let's see. Was there someone else who said something like that? Yeah, her ignorance. And I wonder what the willful ignorance, I wonder what Eve means by that. And is that tied to the mistrustfulness of people and not giving people a chance?
Maybe. I feel like there are times where Bryce just makes the reckless moves, like to help people. That does put people and plans and everything at risk when it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I think that's also for Bryce to be the oldest of her female main characters thus far. Bryce is also the most age appropriate.
Yeah.
Like she acts the most like a 20-something-year-old.
Yeah.
All the younger ones, Farah, Aylin, they act beyond their years.
Yep.
So I actually feel like that, yes, her willful ignorance, and she acts emotionally rather than strategically sometimes. I think that's what you would expect from a 25-year-old or, however old she is. So I think if Bryce had not been that way, our criticism would be, another FMC who is acting beyond her years again.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, there's no winning for women, unfortunately.
No, it's true.
I'm going to read a couple of DMs. Okay. Amber says, this is part of love. Bryce is my favorite SJM FMC. I can't believe I used those initials, but here we go. I love that she's vain. She's not, and she knows it. I love that she loves to dance. I took a few dance classes in college, and I miss it so much. I love how fiercely she loves her friends, and I love that she has a boring day job. Don't we all? The boring day job is freaking hilarious.
Yeah. I would take her boring day job over my boring day job. My job could afford to be more boring.
Someone says, in your SJM podcast part 2, when you're speaking about female mates, what do you think about Fury and Juniper?
There's no indication that they're mates.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like sometimes the concept of mates in each world is different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And let's remember, it's used loosely for something that is supposed to be rare, which is very frustrating.
I mean, I would love for them to be mates, but...
Yeah, I agree. But there's not been any clues that that's the case or indications. I guess to SJM's credit, only Bryce and Ruhn so far have mates. Oh, wait, no, Danica had a mate too. So only those 3 had mates.
We need to get some queer mates up in here.
No, I agree.
But yeah, so those are some DMs that are just Crescent City. There's plenty of ACOTAR DMs that we can eventually get through. All right, we can get through a couple of more.
Ava, in her DM, says what she loves about Bryce is her determination to not let the hard days win, which I feel I could use a lot more of.
Yeah. Maybe it's because she lives in an urban city and it's like a lot more relatable. I feel like her pulling her out of her dark thoughts and working through it feels more relatable to me than Aylin working through her dark times. Like, I can't relate to having to, I don't know, those like turn on power, go not use electricity. I don't know, but there's just something about Bryce that I can appreciate. Going back to some negatives because, again, I want to end on positives, and then we have a fairy loot to go through. Let's see. Plot armor. Other FMCs have to practice their magic and train their fighting. Hers is automatic. Yes, and/but how...
She does go through some training for her magic, and
I wouldn't say she's ever mastered it. I really feel like they kind of accidentally won, to be honest. Like, I don't think that they won because, and I mean, like, then they being Hunt and Bryce and everyone at the end of the book, I feel like they didn't win because of skill. You know, there wasn't strategy necessarily. It just kind of, it worked out.
Right. I mean, the skill that Bryce used that helped create the outcome was she shot a gun and destroyed the First Light core. And I do appreciate the fact that she used the skills Randall taught her to win the day. Now, she died in the process. And quite frankly, and this was a problem I had while reading the book the first time. I don't know how I feel about it right now, though. Bryce is messy with her magic. She is still figuring it out. She received very little training in Sky and Breath. We only get a week with her now, and the only reason why she's able to do things is because she's acquired more magic, not because she's trained. And that makes it volatile, and I think means it's a danger, but we just don't see it play out dangerously because she's wary of it.
Her magic is messy. Like, her strategy is messy. Even when she's at the very end of this book, as she's fighting the Asteri, she's just jumping around while Hunt blasts at them, you know what I mean? And she gets exhausted, and there's no true strategy or skill that's happening on her end. She can figure out how to teleport, and she can kind of make her star glow, but I find that they won because it worked out. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, I don't think that it's a bad writing choice. I think it brings something different because to me, it's like, you know, Throne of Glass. They won because everyone Aelin ever helped decides to come out, and it makes sense, and it was very emotional. And then Farah and Wings and Ruhn and crew, they won because of war, and they've made it very clear that they're, you know, these are warriors and they have fought wars. So it made sense, right? So each time it makes sense. And for me, you know, we've talked about this since book 1 of Crescent City of like, you know, for a bunch of like intense warriors, and they're a bunch of warriors. And it's like, you guys would shit yourself in Throne of Glass or an ACOTAR world. Like, they rely on their guns. They rely on, you know, a lot of other things. They're not warriors.
They're glorified cops, really, is what the majority of them are, right? Because they're law enforcement, essentially. And at the end of the day, how they won was scrappiness.
Yes.
And they're just kind of a scrappy bunch. I don't think we're meant to be in awe. The only person I think we end up in awe of is Lidia, but she took the shot that unlocked all her power.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Pause the mating bond. We'll be right back.
Hear that? That's now Crispy and McCrispy strips meeting Creamy Caesar sauce. Sounds extra crispy. Caesar sauce at McDonald's for a limited time. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
So I saw both a positive and a negative response related to Bryce's independence.
Ooh, oh, yeah, you're right.
For the individual who said her independence was a negative, that listener did say that she said that as an independent woman who also struggles with it, about being independent. Interesting.
I agree. I understand that it's hard for some people to ask for help.
No, I know. I did a deep dive into my astrology last night, and one of the things it explicitly stated was you need to learn to accept more help.
You've gotten better in years.
Yes, I have.
But, you know, I understand that people struggle with it. When you are trying to save the world, that's not the moment. That's not the time to be like, only I can do this. Like, there just needs to be an inch of practicality for me personally.
Yeah, I agree with you. I also think, because I know this about myself, I think when you are in high stakes moments, you fall into what is comfortable, right? And so if she's not been practicing asking for help, she's not going to ask for help because she doesn't know how to be comfortable with doing so. She's most comfortable taking charge. And so that's what she's going to do. I am guilty of That's my whole problem with life, is that I take charge instead of asking for help, because that's what I do when I feel stressed or when I feel like something's really important. I don't want anyone else touching it. I'm going to complete the group project because I only trust myself to do it right.
Yeah. I think for me, what I love about Farah, and I don't know, maybe you can tell me whether I'm good at asking for help or not. It depends on the thing of what I'm willing to ask for help with. But there's something about what I will say for Farah is that, you know, when you think about ACOTAR and where she started of having to be the one to take care of her sisters, and she still would ask her sisters for help and they never delivered. And she never really said, like, we talked about her really struggling to say please, but I think what I love about Farah's journey is that she really learns to rely on others.
Yeah, I agree. Even though she's been given a ton of power, she is one person and she can't do it all on her own.
And she's young and doesn't know everything and she's not as experienced. And that I can really, I mean, this has gone down for me. Be like, and this is why I love Farah. I forgot about Bryce. Okay, back to the compliments. Ultimately, it comes down to her confidence and how her confidence, I'm just summarizing some of the comments, but it's a range between confidence of her sexuality, of her body, of her sass, of everything about her. And yet for me, I think that when we see her weak moments, they make the most sense too. And I don't think that one undermines the other. I think that she is absolutely confident and can be confident, but then is also hurt and not confident of the fact that she was told her body was too curvy to continue ballet, right? She can be confident of her plans and I can talk my way out of anything, but then it's like, oh, fuck, did I do the wrong thing? So I love her confidence. I think that it's a good, realistic balance. And sometimes you can tell her confidence is a fake it till you make it kind of confidence.
Yeah. But that's how she's gotten through life. And I have a love-hate relationship with people who fake it till they make it, myself included.
I fake it till I make it all the time.
I know, but I'm one of those people who also struggled wearing push-up bras because it felt inauthentic.
I didn't know this about you.
Yeah, that was me as a teenager. So the whole fake it till you make it thing was like deeply unethical to me growing up.
Now you feel more comfortable with it?
Now I feel more comfortable with it. I think we all have to fake it till we make it in a lot of different ways. But yeah, I'm sure it's deeply tied to my religious trauma of some sort, but it's also...
I think also to the Chinese, like you grew up in China with like, I wonder if there's any other cultural expectations with that too, with that authenticity.
I think for me, it's like deeply offensive when people do well, when I know they didn't try very hard. And I'm like, you copied your notes off of somebody else's homework or you plagiarized that or whatever. And to me, it's just like, you don't deserve to succeed if you're not trying.
Interesting.
I think it's a cultural thing.
Yeah. I think for me, the faking it till you make it is my family had to fake understanding American culture.
Yeah.
Until they understood it. It's just interesting. The wonderful ways life fucks us up. You know what I mean? Like, can we have nothing?
No, it's true. I mean, this is why I never mastered the Chinese language because I wasn't willing to fake it till I made it.
You said, this is why I never master, and then paused. And I was like, what? Bait?
My D was silent. Mastered.
Yeah. That's
right.
Funny. All right. Quick fairy loop. Here is the first one. I can't wait because I am updating my background to include more shelves and I'll be able to feature all of these.
More books.
More books. Okay. This one is called Deathbringer by Sonia Tagliarini. A death mage who hates her powers and an immortal poison mage are magically bound and forced into an unlikely alliance. As students turn up dead, they must unravel a deadly mystery before she becomes the killer's next target.
Ooh, I love it. It's a whodunit romantasy?
Yeah, but it is adult fantasy.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Right? We got snakes and crows. I can see you working with this one quite a bit. We got snakes and crows. And then, that side is really pretty.
Yeah, that side is very pretty.
Stop. There you go. Focus on that.
Ooh, yeah. Very pretty.
All right, let's look at the inside. We got two brunettes.
You know what? I think I also got this.
Really? Did you open another one without me?
No, this might be among the ones we previously... That art just looks very familiar.
We got one that was a raven one, like the King of the Ravens. Are you thinking that?
No, I'm going to have to go back and check my shelves.
All right. And then the next one, the YA one, Stormbreaker by Nisha J. Tooley.
Yay!
Is this the new one?
Yeah, that's her new
okay.
one.
I didn't know this was YA. Our featured book of the month is Stormbreaker by Nisha J. Tooley. Poet's future is already decided, but her secrets could cost her everything. Drawn to the dangerous outsider and to the storms she should fear, she must hide the truth to survive. We love Nisha here.
Yes, we interviewed Nisha around the beginning of 2025, I think just before Romanticon.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh. Interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah. I can't tell if it's like going to be Art Deco. Oh, interesting. She looks like a ninja. I like the art.
Would you like this one?
I'm flexible.
I like the other one.
Okay. Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. And that is this one's fairy loot.
Yay.
I feel like we have an order that we placed for something. No, we have a couple of Rachel Gilligs on the side that we ordered, that we're going to order. We have scheduled.
Yes.
And I do have the follow-up to the Direbound. Furybound. I'm excited for that one.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Nope. I think we did a really long haul
of not buying things. I'm proud of us.
Since BookCon.
Yeah. I didn't buy a book because I didn't buy a book at Weapon Nip.
No, you did not.
Oh my God. I have gone so long without buying a book. We should reevaluate this. No. All right.
Let's wrap it.
Thank you for listening to Book Talk for Book Talk with Jack and Amy. Join us next week as we dive into chapters 5 through 11 of Sarah J. Maas's House of Flame and Shadow.
If you're enjoying the show, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. It really helps other readers find us. And of course, we'd love to hear what you thought of today's episode. Share your comments through our forum at booktalkforbooktalk.com, and we might feature your feedback in a future mini episode or in a Patreon exclusive episode.
For merch and more ways to support the show, head to booktalkforbooktalk.com. You can also follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at the handle Book Talk for Book Talk. Bye. There will be absolutely no gatekeeping here. We need to tell you about Rebel, the one place where you can get some incredible brand names for up to 70% off.
The thing about Rebel is you don't have to choose between the brand you want versus the price you want. You get both. It isn't a knockoff. It's a real product just priced the way it actually should be.
Rebel offers so many incredible products that I have spent the last, I'd say, 20 minutes just scrolling, knowing that I can shop from brands like Ninja, KitchenAid, and even Drybar. My hair is going to look good.
The most important thing is it's not a static sale. There are new finds dropping constantly. And once the inventory's out, it's out.
You got to get on it, people.
Your next favorite find is waiting at FromRebel.com. That's FromRebel.com.
Top brands in home, baby, and outdoor. Up to 70% off. Go check it out before it's gone. It's basically August, which means it's basically fall. And I am basically thinking about my entire autumn wardrobe.
But it's not going to be a basic wardrobe.
No. It's going to have absolute amazing classic staples from Quince that's going to have ultra soft organic cotton, premium cashmere sweaters. It's a whole vision I have for myself.
The best thing about Quince is you can get those timeless staples at 50 to 80% less than similar brands.
Quince also has, get ready for this, premium stretch denim starting at just $50. I mean, I'm telling you guys, like, it's the perfect fit. It has structure to it, and it also has exactly what you would expect from a luxury designer brand, but it's only $50.
And they're so affordable because they work directly with ethical factories and cut out middlemen. So basically, you're paying for quality, not brand markup.
And it's not just apparel. Quince also brings that same everyday elevation to everything they offer, from hotel quality bedding and bath to kitchen staples and thoughtfully designed furniture.
Upgrade your everyday. Download the Quince app for app-exclusive offers or go to quince.com/booktalk. Book Talk.
Get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada and the UK too.
That's QUINCE.com/booktalk. BOOKTALK.
Hello?
Look what TJ Maxx dragged in.
The Devil Wears Prada 2 is now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
We are digital, we are downloadable, we are streamable.
The fashion event of the year is certified fresh.
Pull yourself together, we have work to do.
Critics say it's smart and witty and the perfect sequel.
That's all.
Get runway ready for The Devil Wears Prada 2 on Disney Plus and Hulu. Rated PG-13.
Still waiting in line? Again? That's time you will never get back. Save time and money with Stamps.com. Over 4 million businesses have skipped the line with Stamps.com. Join them to save up to 90% off carrier rates from your computer or phone right now. Print postage for certified mail, registered mail, and packages in seconds. Then schedule a pickup right from your home or office. For a limited time, go to Stamps.com and use code PODCAST for a free welcome gift. Taxes and fees apply.
The right window treatments change everything. Your sleep, your privacy, the way every room looks and feels. At Blinds.com, we've spent 30 years making it surprisingly simple to get exactly what your home needs. We've covered over 25 million windows and have 50,000 five-star reviews to prove we deliver. Whether you DIY it or want a pro to handle everything from measure to install, we have you covered. Real design professionals, free samples, zero pressure. Right now, get up to 50% off with minimum purchase, plus get a free professional measure at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions apply.